Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tanti. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite. As usual, I did do a watch along, and if you're not watching the watch alongs, what are you doing with your life? Weren't you watching the show along with me? Now, I'm just gonna put it this way, that we have really great matches. However, I have to be real. When we talked about AEW not being able to even push 1 million views, at least for their A show like Dynamite, there's a reason why. And this episode was a perfect example as to why, where even if you get really great matches of the night, even if you use people that maybe not as used all the time, that people are seeing the very same things over and over again. The more predictable the shows are, the less people are going to want to watch. Now, it's not to say that every show has to be unpredictable. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just that people are going to feel like this is AEW. They're going to give us exactly what they feel like they're comfortable with doing. And that's giving us the same old things, same people who wins. You can sit here and predict the matches before the show starts, and you'd be absolutely correct. And I don't like that. And it does take the fun away from the show, despite them having really great matches. We started off with my boy, Katsuyori Shibata versus Will Ospreay, which I thought was going to be the main event, but that wasn't the case. They opened the show in a really technical match that I really enjoy. I know not everyone do enjoy that technical style of wrestling, but these two guys really put it out there. Will Ospreay and Shibata has had a match with each other, I want to say 7 years ago in New Japan. Shibata pretty much put him on retirement because he whooped his ass pretty bad. And now here we have them two going at it again. And then now we do have Will Ospreay. I know everybody thought it was predictable for him to win because he's going to be going against Bryan Danielson at the Dynasty pay-per-view. Why would he take an L on his way to that match? Now, Shibata is a really, really amazing opponent for him to go in the ring with. They have really great chemistry with each other. And at times, you're looking at Shibata and you're like, Shibata's not going to give up. This match might take the whole damn 2 hours before we actually do get a winner. But Will Ospreay ends up taking the win with a hidden blade, which I feel like that wasn't the right finisher for someone like Shibata. Sometimes you have to look at your opponent and say, all right, not this finisher, not my usual finisher. Let me do something else that people will believe that I beat this person with. Another thing too is the Tiger Driver 91. Will Ospreay, we don't need to see that in every match. I feel like we're seeing it a little bit too much. In my opinion, he's going to have to not use that on every time he comes out in the ring. Really great match. I really did enjoy it. Definitely maybe match of the night for me. Main event was pretty great too. Now after this, we do have the Young Bucks coming into the building. And wait. Before the Young Bucks came out, we had a really amazing video package that they made of Bryan Danielson, pretty much showing and talking about his career. And the way they put it together was absolutely lovely. They did a really good job showing his time in Ring of Honor and in AEW. Props to whoever put that together. They made Bryan Danielson, as amazing as Bryan is, they just made him look like a fucking $1 billion with that video package. So I really did enjoy that. Now after that, the Young Bucks are back there doing an interview with Renee Paquette. And I'm just gonna say this, that loud ass yellow suit one of them was wearing was just blinding me, and I couldn't really pay attention to what was being said or whatever. But their match come up next. They're going against Private Party for I think it was the quarterfinals or whatever they're doing in terms for the tag team titles tournament. And before this even came on, I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, why would anybody think Private Party would win? And it has nothing to do with Private Party and their ability in the ring. They're absolutely talented. The crowd really do love them. And for whatever reason, it's always the same thing with the Young Bucks, just taking opportunity after opportunity to be in those type of situations where they can come out on top, you know? And I'm watching this and I'm just like, okay, they're going to take the win. And then towards the end of the match, it kind of get to the point where it got, the intensity picked up and it looked like maybe Private Party might take the win. However, The Young Bucks end up taking the win with an EVP trigger that they absolutely botched. Y'all gonna definitely see this on Botchamania and any other thing where they'll talk about botches or whatever. It's probably all over the fucking internet right now. The ending was horrible because of the botch, yes, but at the same time, you're just wondering, like, holy shit, when is Young Bucks not gonna be part of something and win it all the freaking time? I just don't like it. I knew for a fact that if the Young Bucks did not beat Sting and Darby at the pay-per-view a few weeks ago, that they were going to have an opportunity to go for those titles when they're going to be vacated. Sure enough, Darby vacated the titles, and then now it just seems like, okay, well, the Young Bucks are just a step closer to winning that whole damn tournament. It's absolutely insane. I'm over it. All right, so we have another video package tonight. We have Don Callis talking about Takeshita in the main event that he's going to be in with Swerve. And it was a really nice package for Takeshita. However, for whatever reason, once again, while I don't mind Uncle Don doing the talking, we're not getting a word from Takeshita. I don't understand why that is the case. He can speak Japanese. People are going to be fine with that. We even had Okada speaking Japanese the other day. So why isn't Takeshita talking? I do feel like, as amazing as he is in the ring, they need to have a little bit more freedom with him to do and say things so that people can understand, whether it was in English or not. Give us the subtitles, I don't care, but people need to be able to connect to Takeshita and not just what he does in the ring. They have to get that personality. They have to feel out that personality too, whether it's a babyface or a heel, and we don't really get any of that. Sometimes you can see him playing that heel role in the ring, but other than that, the fans need more from Takeshita outside of the ring. Now, after this, we have Mercedes coming into the building, and she just looks so freaking amazing. Like, I never really care about her looks, but this time I'm looking at her and I'm just like, holy smokes, this is beautiful. You look absolutely stunning. She came into the building, and I just love the way she looked. Now, she's supposed to be the commentator for the women's Fatal 4-Way match. Now, before this, we got a video with Darby Allin, of all people, who's hanging out with Tony Hawk at a skate park. I guess they're talking about a cause where you can donate for skate parks, something like that. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, Darby Allin, you doing anything it takes to get some TV time, whether your foot is broken or not. He had crutches on and he had one of those boots on his foot. And, you know, it's great to see that you're all right and in one piece, barely in one piece, Darby Allin. But stay home and rest. Stay away from anything that can cause harm to you. Now, after this, we have Hook and Chris Jericho. Last week, Chris Jericho said he had a proposition for Hook. And I'm just like, I don't care about this. Now, he's over here praising Hook like he's the second coming of Christ. And I'm just like, you're saying all these wonderful things about Hook, and I don't think it's true. Hook is not as great as he made him out to be. You would have thought that the way Christopher was over here talking about Hook, you would have thought he was talking about Bryan Danielson. And I'm just like, who the hell are you describing here? Hook is not that great. Basically, the proposition is, you know, if you want any advice, you can come to me for advice. And I'm just like, that's it? That's all it is? You just wasted like 3 minutes of TV time to say, if you want any advice, ask me. Hook was like, yes, but no at the same time, because he know how slimy Chris Jericho can be. But at the end of the day, they ended up dapping it up or whatever. And I'm just like, this is a waste of TV time. Like, we would have had some more time for the ladies in the ring if it wasn't for this foolishness. Now we have the Fatal 4-Way match. Anna Jay in this match for whatever reason, no clue. Chris Statlander, what's the pretty girl name? Sky Blue versus Willow Nightingale. I understand those three, but like I said, Anna Jay was just thrown into this. It was very, very apparent that Willow Nightingale was going to win. The match was not bad. However, the predictability, you guys, is just an absolute killer. This is why people don't want to come back and watch the show. We can call all these matches before they actually happen. Mercedes is on commentary. She's boring as hell. Somebody help her with how to talk on the mic, you know? I don't know what it is. She needs a little bit of help in that department. Willow Nightingale takes the win. There was a bit of sloppiness into this match, but whatever. I'm not going to get into it. I don't really care. She ends up taking the win. However, we do have Julia who do come out and she's standing there. She has her TBS title, and she's going to be going against Willow Nightingale at the Dynasty pay-per-view next month, one-on-one. I feel like they're setting up for Willow Nightingale to take that TBS title and then really amp up that feud with Mercedes Moné, and the whole shit is predictable. Now, after this, we have our boy Dustin Rhodes, who's all painted up, talking with Renee, basically talking about how great of a wrestler he is, and I guess he's looking for a fight. And then here comes Butcher, who comes out and basically saying, hey, I'll fight you on Rampage. And great. Thank you for letting us know that Dustin is still employed with AEW and that he ain't going to be showing up at WrestleMania to help his punk-ass brother Cody Rhodes. Thank you for the confirmation, Tony Khan. We get a little footage from Tony Storm, who was at the Turner Classic Movie Studios for whatever reason, no clue. Then after this, we have tag team action. Oh, Lord. Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, versus the Undisputed Kingdom, which is Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. We knew it, okay? We knew Orange Cassidy and Trent was going to win. But it wasn't a bad match. We had Roderick, who at some point was distracting the referee and getting involved. Chuck Taylor also got involved to help his team end up taking the win. I don't care. Why? Because it's predictable once again. Now, after the match, they went to go hug like they usually do, but then the Young Bucks came out to show up and let them know that, hey, it's going to be you and us for the next round next week at Dynamite. So whichever one of those teams, the Young Bucks versus Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, they're going to advance to the finals for the tag tournament. And real talk, I did not know that they were on the same side of the bracket. But as much as I can't stand the Young Bucks, as much as I can't stand Orange Cassidy, it's only because Trent Beretta hasn't held gold since I never seen Trent Beretta with a title ever. Not WWE, not AEW, nowhere. That's the only reason why I'm actually hoping Orange Cassidy's team takes a win, only because of Trent Beretta. To be honest, Orange Cassidy been holding gold for the longest, and I'm absolutely over it. Now, after this, we hear from Kyle O'Reilly with Renee Paquette. He basically said that he feels great after his match with Brian Keith, and yeah, that's literally all he said. He looks less sleepy this week. Now, after that, we do hear from our boy Adam Copeland, who said his little beef with Christian Cage is over, and that the Cope Open will start on Collision this weekend. So anybody who want to get it, come get it. And I'm liking the way he looks. He basically, this was actually done right after the match that he had with Christian. So he's sitting there with that spike stick or whatever he calls it, and he has a bloody ass face, and he's basically letting people know that he wants more. So that's what we're gonna get, the Cope Open. We don't know who's gonna be. Somebody's gonna come and take the challenge and get their ass whooped. Can't wait to see Adam back in the ring. Now, here's definitely a contender for match of the night. I really don't know if it's really the main event or the opener for me. I really did enjoy both of these matches. Swerve Strickland versus Konosuke Takeshita. Oh my god, these guys are these two guys are really great opponents for each other. The chemistry was absolutely there between the two of them, and I really did enjoy it. Towards the end of the match, the intensity picked up tremendously. And although I never felt like Takeshita was going to win this, I really felt like Takeshita was just making it very difficult for Swerve. Swerve was holding on to his shoulder pretty much that whole match. He was hurt on his shoulder. And I'm watching this and I'm just like, there's just no way that he's going to end up losing. He actually has this story with Samoa Joe right now, and it wouldn't make sense for him to just lose it to Takeshita and for Takeshita to get a title shot. So this match was for the AEW #1 contendership. So I'm just like, all right, I'm looking at this. There's just no way Swerve's going to win, to lose this. And he ends up taking the win with a JML driver. And I'm not going to lie, he ended up hitting his finisher several times, and several times Takeshita was just getting out of every single thing that he gave to him. So he really gave him a really great fight. Now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing Samoa Joe several times. They keep showing him backstage and watching it. And even after the match, Samoa Joe goes on camera. I think Renee was asking him about the match or whatever, and basically they're gonna have a contract signing next week on Dynamite. So you guys know contract signing meaning brawls, somebody gonna get their ass whooped or whatever the hell is gonna happen. It's gonna be a mess, and that's how we like contract signings, right? Two things here. We had Uncle Don who's on commentary, and usually with Uncle Don, I always find him to be fair with commentary. Like, even though Takeshita is his guy, he's always praising the opponents that they're in the ring with. And I really do appreciate how he was praising Swerve during that match. And also Takeshita. If Tony Khan is not making this guy one of his top priorities for the company for the next few months, I don't know what the hell is going on here. What he does in the ring, it's like there are certain people, Tony Khan knows who to call on to help deliver and help elevate certain opponents. So a match like this helps elevate Swerve Strickland, which we know is an amazing wrestler, but Takeshita really brings out something even more from someone like Swerve, something even more from someone like Will Ospreay. And then what do you do with him? Nothing at all. He takes nothing but L's, at least for a while he has been. You put him in squash matches for whatever fucking reason. You don't let him ever talk on the microphone. You don't let him do his own vignettes or promos or whatever. You don't let him do any of that stuff. But when you know you want to get the best out of someone, Takeshita's on speed dial, right, Tony Khan? What are we doing with this young man? He is absolutely talented. If y'all don't do this guy right, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he's like, fuck it, I'm going back to Japan, or hey, Hunter gave me a call and I might just go over there. Because imagine someone like Takeshita doing what he does, what we see him doing now over in WWE. That would be absolutely insane. So if I was Tony Khan, I'd be putting some priority on Takeshita because he's absolutely amazing. And we're at the point where it's like, stop elevating these people who have been there and done that in this industry, like the young folks and them. Give young people like Swerve, like Takeshita, Private Party, these young guys who are so talented that are never truly going to get these opportunities that they deserve because they're too busy giving it to the same old fucking people. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. The clips and stuff from tonight from Dynamite's on YouTube. Y'all can go check them out if you didn't see it. The show is alright. The predictability is going to kill you. Absolutely kill you. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a Ring of Honor.